So we're having the standard end of the year party coming up. Decided to do it in Vegas again last minute. How you guys feeling about it?
Feeling good, man. It's gonna be epic.
And I mean, as long as we're not going to do the only. Are we doing the Edward 40 hands in Vegas again, or
we're going to do some drinking, Leo.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be a little bit contained. Some people when we do Edward 40 hands, they misinterpret the spirit, which I can't really blame them for because the spirit of Edward 40 hands is very, very mean. Just think back to Logan and Leo when you had COVID, when he sloshed a 40 on a vagrant.
I remember Mudflap at the makeup. It was the makeup counter at like a CVS.
I remember this too. Yeah,
he just said that they were all disgusting and ugly, something like that.
He went up to a woman who was absolutely minding her own business and was probably a very lovely soul, and he said, "Why buy that makeup concealer? It's not gonna make you look pretty, you fat bitch."
Yeah, of course. There was, of course, and then, of course, the all-star of last year. Is that last year's? It was Mia, of course. With her drunken, the life coach was my favorite bit because that guy did really need a life coach, though, in my opinion. Yeah. The guy she told that to?
Absolutely. Yeah, he did need a life coach. There's a lot of truth that comes out during Edward 40 Hands.
Yes.
But that truth comes at a cost. The video was deleted by YouTube and then reinstated with an age restriction. And then there was another cascade of cancellation that followed right after. And a bunch of people came after the channel and were talking shit for a while, many of them targeting Mia. What are you going to do, though? We're going to party. That's the primary objective. Dino, are you 21 yet?
Yeah, dude.
No, you're not.
In theory.
I'm 21, bro.
Are you even 20 yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Are you aging in reverse?
Because I'm 21. I'm aging from 21 plus.
Let's move on. Dino, if you had to, let's move into a more intelligent subject. Dino, if you had to forecast the basedness of this party, where would you say it's going to be?
Probably between like weed and like water, which is like a 9.5 out of 10.
The base scale should be like it's gonna be somewhere between Donald Trump and Nick Fuentes, but just south of Hitler. It's not gonna be Hitler. It's
not quite at Kanye.
It's not Alex Jones, but almost. Is it Alex Jones, you think?
It's gonna be pretty.
I think it's gonna be Alex Jones.
I think so too. I think that's a lot
of the Sandy Hook denying.
I'm so
at least
Sandy Hook denying is so much more benign in my eyes than Holocaust denial. So of all those names we just threw out, other than Donald Trump, he's relatively benign too. Alex Jones is the one I feel most comfortable with. I don't know if I'm ready for a Kanye night. I don't know what that entails, but I think the owners of the hotel won't like it.
Probably not. Yeah.
So Dino, I was telling Leo this, we really got to flex our might as a YouTube channel. We got to make sure there is some trim.
Some trim?
Some trim.
Our guest, baby.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man, sit on the, you can, sit on the couch, my man. Right there. Yeah, join. We always do like authentic in the middle of the podcast.
See, man.
Good. Big Reza. Well, you guys might remember Reza from a survival video.
Yeah, 24-hour survival video in the mountains. A lot happened in that. We're going to come to it. We're going to talk about his survival instincts.
Yeah.
Reza, right now we're just talking about our end of the year party we're throwing. You're welcome to come if Mr. Chad Keel wants to come along too. Yeah. But we are going to, I was telling Dino over here, our young Padawan, that we need to really prove that we're a YouTube channel that lays the pipe.
Right.
And therefore, we need a lot of good-looking ladies.
Dino, are you going to do your part, or are you inviting your girlfriend there?
Yeah, I can invite her. What day is it?
No, we don't want your girlfriend. We don't want that.
Oh, shit. All right,
we want you to bring random chicks your age.
That just seems to happen everywhere I go. They just, like, follow me in places.
Uh-huh.
Is there any way you can recruit some girls to this party? I mean, where would you start? I mean, is there a kind of maybe a comic book store by your house that you could attend?
I would start by unzipping my pants, and then they would line up.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's probably actually, if it's the right kind of girl, he does have a large penis. It's possible. But Dino, honestly, man, we need you to get to work. Okay, I think we tried to get off the ground the idea of TikTok Dino once. We wanted him to sincerely just dance on TikTok. He's got a nice skinny physique. If he shaves his facial hair and uses shampoo, he's actually quite attractive.
He is.
If we get that going, you set up a really nice Hinge profile, we can get, I think, by this weekend, 3 groups of girls from Dino.
I mean, it would be great. I mean, you gotta kind of amp up kind of what's going to go down at this party. You can't just say, "Hey, this guy Mudflap's going to be there," for example. You kind of don't open with that, right? I mean, you can't open.
Y'all have to like leech off all my clout and my swagger.
If you send him a picture of Swolby, for example, try only for the face. I mean, the kid's got a good face. He's got nice light eyes, and he's got good hair. You know what I mean? Don't tell him what size he is in height or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Tell him, all love to Swolby. If you send him a photo of Swolby, tell him it was a selfie taken at a funhouse mirror.
Yeah, we'll have to take a picture of him next to like a clown car or some shit.
Swolby, I love you, buddy.
I love you
It's
too,
okay.
Swolby.
It's okay. But what we're saying is, Dino, say there's going to be a tiger there.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Baby tiger.
Don't mention.
Let's go baby tiger. It's not alarming. You know what I mean? That you can cuddle up with it. It's harmless for the most part.
What do you think about that, Dino?
Baby tiger fleshlight? I don't know.
Oh my God.
Why do you have to make everything into a foul, sick little sexual
What else
fantasy?
am I going to do with a baby tiger?
Well, you say girls like baby tigers because they can pet them.
Yeah.
If I had a baby tiger, that'd be pretty
Well,
sick.
you
That'd
lie,
be a pussy
Dino.
magnet.
You lie.
Oh, shit.
So we say, here's how it's going to go. Say we have an exclusive suite, because I used to work at the Wynn Encore in Las Vegas, the leading property in Sin City. We toured on the first day there that I got hired when they were doing the onboarding. We toured one of the high roller suites, the high roller suites that are reserved for Chinese oligarchs. I'm talking $100,000 a night with
Where
an
was this?
elevator. This was at the Wynn Encore, baby.
Wow.
Or I think it was at the Encore.
Okay.
They're 2 identical
And
buildings.
it was how much a night? Do you remember what it was?
Leo, I just said $100,000 a night.
$100,000 a night?
Yeah.
Wow.
$100,000 a night. And they had personal blackjack tables in there so that these fucking guys, after doing, I don't know, God knows what, carving up a small country and rigging an election, whatever they're doing, they go in there and they're just playing blackjack privately in their $100,000 a night suite. Jesus. And who knows how much they're dropping on that table. That's where we're partying. That's the point I'm getting at. We're partying at one of those suites and there's a fucking tiger.
And then you tell the Chinese woman, like, yo, I got a baby tiger. That shit's like exotic teriyaki.
Jesus Christ, Dino.
I'm confused. Dino, first of all, the idea
That's how you get the Chinese woman. You
No,
tell
we're
them you
not-
got a baby tiger?
we're not telling the Chinese blackjack dealer that we have a baby tiger.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not actually staying in the suite. I know you're having trouble following this. We need you to tell the girls on Hinge about the baby tiger. I get
Right.
what you did. You're saying that Chinese people eat animals that Westerners
I can
don't
switch my language to Chinese only on Hinge and then say I got baby tiger.
You know, I got something. Listen, you're decent on the computer.
This guy, Reza.
Photoshop, stuff like that. I want you to make a flyer with a really cute baby tiger on it.
Yeah.
And once you get these girls on Hinge, you get their number, you text them, you mass text this flyer with the address to the party, which will be given to you in the future.
It's 3000 Paradise Boulevard. I believe that's the address of the Wynn.
And hopefully you'll hit, but please do not mention your political affiliations at all, or basically anything.
I feel like I could save a lot of time if I just had a duffel bag and some blow darts.
Oh my God.
What does that mean? You're going to incapacitate the woman or the tiger?
I could do both.
What do you mean? Explain that joke to us. Or I'm not even sure
like,
if it was
why
a
do
joke.
I need to like go on Hinge and do all this baby tiger shit?
Okay, he's going to incapacitate the women.
So you're gonna get a disguise. Maybe you're gonna hide like in a bush or something, and like a native per se, and come out and hit their neck. Right. Hopefully,
I'm well trained. I'm pretty used to doing it. It's pretty easy.
Oh,
honestly.
This might be a good question for our guest. What would be the best thing to dip a dart in so that it could incapacitate a human?
Reza, you might know that. Yeah. Right up to the mic, Reza. Also.
Yeah, sorry. There's different plants that you could put in water, and then if you dip it in there, there's a compound in the plant and it poisons the blood.
Yeah, like poison ivy. I'll get him with the poison ivy dart.
Poison ivy.
Reza, what do you think about
Done.
this? My father is a retired judge, and he used to tell me stories of the county jail and even some of the darker prisons in California. A common move was you roll up a newspaper into a spear. You roll it up real sharp, and then you pee on it. You leave it in the windowsill of your cell, let it dry out in the sun, calcify, and then a week later you pee on it again. And you just keep doing this until it turns into a rock-hard spike.
Wow.
Next, because just something sharp isn't good enough, you start dipping the tip in the toilet after you take a big doo-doo. That way you get your own human waste on the end and it becomes a poisonous barb. Dino, is this a technique you'd be willing to employ?
That is genius. Honestly, I can't think of much things that are better. Like if you only have a newspaper on hand, you got to do what you got to do to like reinforce your weapon, get an upgrade.
Danny, I remember you making some prison wine.
Yeah, I did make
What's that
Pruno.
called?
It's Pruno.
Pruno.
Now, you had no problem giving that to people on the old Vegas Strip. back
No
in the
problem.
day.
Well, one of the guys I gave it to was an ex-felon who used to drink Pruno. To be fair, I don't think I let it sit long enough to become very strong. I think I was the minimum amount of days you need to let it sit. I think I let it sit a day shorter than that. So it was just starting to turn alcoholic.
People get sick from this Pruno.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I've heard they've gotten sick from it.
My girlfriend's cousin, Body Count Boy, who we've actually spoken to on this podcast, he recently did a stint in county jail, and he made very good friends with the Pruno guy. So maybe he's the guy we should ask about this.
Yeah.
Did-
What would he go to jail for?
I think he beat the shit out of somebody.
Jesus.
Do
How'd
know-
you make Pruno?
I made Pruno. You can find the instructions anywhere. It's really quite simple. It's a bunch of oranges crushed up, and you put it all in a Ziploc bag. For some reason, that's always the vessel you make it in. Oranges, sugar cubes, and ketchup. Those are the ingredients I remember. Maybe, yeah, I think that's it. I think that's basically it.
Oranges and ketchup. That sounds
disgusting.
Ketchup or vinegar, I guess.
But just to reiterate here, Dino, you are convinced that all you'll need is blow darts or calcified newspaper spikes to get women to our party.
Yeah, I mean, or just like a rope or like a rock or like
Old school.
pretty much anything. You got to be resourceful these days. You always got to be prime and ready in a moment's notice because you don't want that chance to slip you up.
I remember Reza telling me that throwing rocks is an effective way to catch some food in the wild, right? I mean, is that still true?
yeah, totally. Or a stick.
Or a stick?
I mean, a stick is one of the most effective weapons, like a rabbit stick, just a simple stick that you have. You can throw that hard enough to break a deer's leg, or if you throw that at someone's head,
Wow.
you take them out.
Dino, well, there you go. You got your technique. I don't know if you're aware of how strict the laws are for transporting an unconscious co-ed across state lines. They're pretty bad.
Dino, listen, jail time for you. I think that your best move would, once again, what we told another one of our associates here to use, but please claim to be a woman if you are arrested. Because,
absolutely.
Dino, if you go to jail, buddy.
It's over.
I'm going to have a fun time in women's jail.
And for in women's jail, maybe. Yeah, sure.
In women's jail, you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
Dino, it's so true. You got to be like the Colorado shooter, non-binary instantly, at least, preferably go she, her. Just go she, her, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely the safer bet.
Go she, her, 100%.
You know what I've been thinking, Leo? I mean, we always say you're Latinx. Is my 52 and me, what are those called?
23andMe.
As my 23 and me recently told me, I am very, very Spanish. And as you guys all
Wait,
know.
what? You took one?
My mom did.
Oh, your mom. Yeah, you are
super
very Spanish. Yeah.
And also, again, I had my penis side by side with Foo's in that double vaginal. I'm pretty much LGBTQ plus, and I'm also Latinx.
I 100% you're Latin.
I'm a Latinx gay
We're
man.
both Latin.
Your mother sold out your
yeah.
DNA to the government, dude.
Her DNA. Well, it's sort of mine.
It's close enough to yours to where they can trace it back
Listen, as
easily.
a Latinx gay man, the government has no beef with me. But Dino, the reason we know you would suffer miserably in straight prison is because think about how rich Dino would be if he had an OnlyFans.
Dino, we know, we've showed you. I don't know if you've ever actually looked at this guy's Twitter. This
Too base for an OnlyFans,
one
dude.
guy that we know. But Dino,
who's that guy, Leo?
Yeah, that guy that we can't really talk about. There's a man that he might post really gnarly pictures.
And Nico might be obsessed with them too.
Nico is obsessed with them in a weird way. It's kind of like a love-hate, right? Because when you really love somebody, the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. Hate and love are really close. So
that's very profound, Leo.
It's true. We've found Nico looking at this guy's OnlyFans and
we know him.
Guy, and
this guy, I'll beat the shit out of him. This guy's got a big old penis. I don't like a big tallywhacker dude like this running around. He might be fucking Jill. Leo.
I know, buddy.
The holiday season.
It's too much.
It's just, I'm getting so many chicks.
Well, I know, man, and it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's also the most hectic, buddy.
Well, look, so I got so many chicks, and I got one chick, and she's Presbyterian.
Well, you better not hold off the shopping to the last minute, buddy. You're going to get overwhelmed. What are you going to get the Presbyterian?
I'm going to get the Presbyterian, probably a nice little nativity scene. Send her that. But then I'm dating a Jewish broad now too. I got to get her a dreidel. And then this one chick I'm dating, I met her at a local drum and bass club, Kwanzaa celebrator.
Oh wow!
And at her, I just what am I going to send her? How am I going to get all these packages?
They're all over
moving?
the nation, buddy. And I got an idea for you. One of our greatest supporters, and we just love their product, ShipStation. All right, and everyone, of course, is going to wait till the last minute to do their shopping. So I say, guys. You need to get ShipStation now. Now it's the 12th. It's going to be the 13th tomorrow when this podcast comes out of December. It's important for you guys to ship out your orders.
It's so important.
With ShipStation, you're going to get the cheapest and best price. But also, it just makes it so easy to use the dashboard.
Oh, it's the best.
It's unbelievably it's so convenient. It is. It really is.
And Leo, you said that they're our best supporter. They've been with us this entire time. Remember how sometimes they send us like, oh, it's this. There's a box on my doorstep from the CEO of ShipStation.
Right.
His name is Brian Magellan.
Oh, he's the man.
And you open it up, and there's vintage Playboys in there. And they just send us vintage Playboys because we're such good customers. And we do such good work for them.
What a guy. You know what I mean?
Brian Magellan.
I mean, look, the holidays are stressful, Danny, and I'm bringing it back to that. But for me, I know that if I'm going to get my Octopo rings out in time, if I'm going to get my new necklaces, I'm designing some necklaces here.
I just dropped some merch.
Yeah, Danny just drop some merch. If we're going to get it out in a timely fashion at the best rates, ShipStation's our best friend, and you know that. It's
going to be the audience's best friends too, if there are any of them who are entrepreneurs, which they all should be.
Well, yeah, guys, if you're going to sell anything online, and you should, because as Gary Vee has shown all of us, it's probably the best part-time gig out there. You hunt for stuff. Yeah, do it.
You got to go. Listen, you got to go to the garage sales. Get a lamp. Pick up a tablecloth. Resell it on Facebook Marketplace. Use ShipStation.
And ShipStation works.
You're a fucking asshole
with all your favorite places to sell, too, Gary.
Fuck you, dude.
It works with all your favorite places to sell online. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify.
Amazon, you're Jeff Bezos. Buy stock.
And you manage every order from one simple dashboard. That is my favorite thing by far. It's so easy to use, man. It's one dashboard, and that is it.
Give him the code, Leo.
Now,
we're going to hook him up with something, aren't we?
And also, one more thing to add before I give them the code: 130,000 customers. All right,
130,000,
and 98% of companies. This is the craziest stat. That stick with ShipStation for a year become customers for life.
Oh yeah,
like us.
Yeah. There's you get buried. Actually, there's a burial plot at the ShipStation headquarters.
Right.
In San
if you
Diego,
want to
California.
just really commit to that.
And there are gravestones from the 1800s.
All right, because people were using. Yeah, they were shipping. I think people would just ship a
bonnet.
Yeah, there we go.
A revolver.
Yeah, muskets.
A horseshoe. If you had to ship a horseshoe in 1836, you shipped it through ShipStation.
Exactly.
And those guys are dead. In the San Diego campus of ShipStation now, because they were customers for life.
God, man, ShipStation is unbelievable. Mr. Magellan's the man. This holiday season,
shout out Mr. Magellan,
guys. But seriously, get ShipStation. It's going to save you money in the end, and it makes your life 10 times easier if you're trying to make some coin by selling some stuff in the e-commerce world. This holiday season, give yourself the gift of stress-free holiday shipping. Use promo code LDS today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free 60-day trial. And they still give us a free 60-day trial. Now use promo code LDS today at ShipStation.com to sign up for your free trial. And that's ShipStation.com, promo code LDS. Go out there and make some coin, guys. Dino, the money is alluring. You know, I don't know your future. You know, with this egg that you want to build and stuff, you're gonna need a lot of money. Kid.
You are.
I don't need money.
If you want to
I'm
build a space
resourceful.
station.
I know you
I'll
think
just
that your
eat
investments.
trash.
I know that both Dino and Austin were very, very excited when I came in today because they entered a tournament, much like Magic the Gathering, but it's with anime cards. Danny,
One Piece.
They went to a place with all these guys that just have no chance of getting pussy. You know what I mean? Just zero chance of getting pussy. And they traded their little cards, and I guess Austin got second place.
I think the average weight was probably 280.
So,
Yeah, they at least weigh
280.
twice as much as me.
Can we do this, guys? 'Cause I really want to understand this. I used to really like Magic the Gathering up until my post-college life. I'd always go over to College Boy's house. We would drink Carlo Rossi wine till 5 in the morning playing Magic the Gathering. It's really fun. Is Magic at the very top of the card game hierarchy? Where are we on this thing?
I would say Yu-Gi-Oh's probably at the top. Magic's up there too.
Magic's better than Yu-Gi-Oh.
Can you
No,
play
I just mean
Pokemon?
like player base wise, like how many people play.
Well, people take Magic more seriously, though, right?
Yeah, probably.
And then where is Pokemon relative to Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic?
Pokemon's pretty low because it's like really quite easy. But One Piece is pretty up there now. But it's just now starting out.
I just, for me, Leo, it's if you're going to do something, you go top shelf.
Yeah.
If you're going to be a comedian, don't be a clown. Don't be a mime. Don't be, I don't even know. I'm running out of
The guys
forms
that
to come.
there's guys that pump up the audience at like the Ellen DeGeneres show. Those guys are like really scoffed.
Well, I mean, those guys at least are stand-ups. I'm talking about don't be goat versus fish. How about that? Or don't be Gallagher, okay? Don't smash watermelons with mallets. Do something that has some sort of economic feasibility. If you're going to play a card game, make it Magic. Don't make it One Piece.
Hey, it just came out though, so it's like all first print cards. Like I bought like 4 cards for $5 each. They're now worth $35 each. Just in the last
You
couple
might as well
weeks.
retire at this point. I mean,
Danny,
close at this
how
point.
have we not done a Magic the Gathering video yet? Come on, me and you in a
Go
tournament?
to a tournament?
Yeah.
Manny.
Dude, Manny goes to a tournament?
You have
pretty
the
funny.
Shivan Draggy. The Shivan Draggy. You have 3 mountain and 2 forest mana. You would tap him. You wait 2 turns, and then he burn down your village.
Dude, you're gonna have to feed me some lines now. 'Cause I don't know the first thing about Magic the Gathering, dude.
Yeah,
don't know
I
the
used to
first.
play it. It's fun. So tell me though, I want to hear about Austin and Dino's experience. You guys get there. There are a bunch of obese men who probably smell.
Yeah,
How do you blend in this crowd?
I stick out like a sore thumb.
Uh-huh.
We're the only normal people. We're a couple girls.
A couple chicks?
Yeah.
Cute?
It's not bad looking, surprisingly, but I think they were there with their husband or something.
That's maybe it's the siren song that lures ships into the rocks. The fact that there are a couple fit girls with big titties at Comic-Con every year, and occasionally one of them shows up at a Magic the Gathering tournament, that makes all these nerds think there's pussy at the end of the tunnel.
No,
And there's not, dude. And there's not. Not in the fucking One Piece trading card game.
Oh my
This one
god.
guy smelled so fucking bad. so bad.
So tell me, Austin, you guys get in there. There's a couple cute chicks. Dino's already fixing up his blow darts and hiding behind the counter.
Well, I went to the tournament originally the day before, the same place, and Derek was too hungover and throwing up sick, so he couldn't.
Oh, Mr. Christian.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to the card tournament.
Mr. Man of God.
What did you celebrate? What were you celebrating, Dino?
I was just fucking being
He's
based,
getting
dude.
content.
Yeah, I was trying to film a video.
Tell me about this video. We're going to have to backtrack. I'm sorry, Austin and audience. Where were you drinking and filming this video?
The Grove. It was really fucking cold though, so I drank a lot of alcohol to try and warm up.
Did you get
But
caught?
then I was just really drunk, so
Grove
it's hard to
is
film.
It's a very difficult place to film. Have you ever? Did you get caught real quick?
The Grove, for people who are curious, it looks like Main Street Disneyland.
Right.
And it's a really high-end shopping mall here in LA, built by Rick Caruso, and it prides itself on being immaculately clean, family-friendly, no homeless people, and they also have a very strict no YouTuber policy.
Right.
Very strict.
They will kick you out and ban you for
Oh,
life.
it's so
if they try
strict
to.
that I've been there like a million times.
Tell me how it went. You get there, you forgot a jacket or a sweatshirt, you're really cold, you just happen to have some vodka on hand.
Yeah. I find the vodka on the side of the street.
No way.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that true, Austin? That's not true. Come on, be
'Cause
honest with us. Be honest with us. We're not talking about how you're going to get chicks anymore.
All right, I'm 21, so I bought some vodka. Okay. And then, shit, man, it was cold as fuck, so I got really drunk. And then.
What was the premise of the video?
The premise of the video was I had some breath mints, and then I talked to chicks. And then whenever they'd start talking, like, oh, God, your fucking breath reeks.
That's kind of funny.
And then I'd give them some breath mints.
That's kind of funny.
And then I think I tried some mommies and shit.
Did the women like it?
No, they all hated me, but it was hilarious.
All right. You were hammered drunk doing this. I'm sure you said some other very offensive stuff that wasn't in regards to their breath.
Quite possibly true.
At what point are you blacked out?
I don't think I've ever blacked out.
Usually the vomiting the next morning comes with a blackout the night before.
Did you at some point just not remember anything more? What's the last thing you remembered the day before? Or do you remember everything all the way until bedtime?
I remember everything. It's just I don't have much fat on me, and I don't eat anything really, and I just drank like a bunch of water. So like
I don't get these guys.
I just went hungover as fuck.
Danny, it's a THC
Get
dependency.
these guys.
When you smoke the fuck up in the morning so many times over and over again, one day your body's like, I'm not going to eat unless you give me THC. It's what they give bulimic and anorexic girls. I would know.
Yeah, because you qualify as one of those.
I
Almost.
only did it 4 times. But
Almost.
I do qualify as bulimic because I did do it 4 times.
Dino, so you get hammered drunk on an empty stomach. I want to ask about what you ate today, but we just keep getting further and further
Yeah,
away from the
down
card
into
tournament.
I ate an egg
A singular egg.
and a cheese hot dog.
Oh my God.
Okay,
That is
cheese hot
disgusting.
dog.
A cheese hot dog. That is foul.
7-Eleven.
Dino, you do your bit. You're hammered drunk. Austin, who drives you home?
Aaron.
Who's that?
Is the guy
Fed.
you call Remy, the guy that looks like a Scandinavian porn star.
Oh,
That's-
Remy.
yeah.
So he drives you back to your place, all the way up in Kingdom Come, Los Angeles. You go back into your parents' house. You get into the room next to theirs.
No, he drove me back to the studio, and then
You slept here.
yeah, I slept here.
Okay, thank God, because you know their parents would be going to town on each other, and maybe that I was thinking in my head was the reason that Dino vomited everywhere. 'Cause they share a wall and they have sex constantly.
Right. Dino, that's tough, and I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. It's some sort of child abuse for sure. I don't know why they have to be so loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That recording that you
And then
provided?
That
Austin
was really messed up.
it's fucked
Austin
up.
went to the card tournament.
But remember
and
that
he locked
But let's
me
talk
in
about that.
here.
Let's talk
Let's
about
talk
that
about the
recording.
recording.
The
that you
recording was
sent
messed
us.
up.
Oh my God.
And then because we heard a power drill.
Making
Right.
stuff
We heard the power drill, and then that made me think, oh my God, is Dino's dad making a glory hole through the wall they share?
Dino, I mean, look, that is child abuse. If your father just puts his erect cock into your room for some odd
It's
reason,
fucked up.
And we know he's
That
got,
is fucked up,
We know he's
dude.
got the clearance too. I mean, he's a Schlosser.
Oh yeah,
that thing
Yeah,
goes all
you
the
would-
way
you'd
through.
you'd be shocked at what I found out on Leo and Friends about Dino. Dino apparently he goes into one of those. He goes into the VR world and he makes himself an avatar, right? Like some guy, and then they go and they meet in a room with all his friends and they watch the same pornography. Danny.
This is
He jerks
slander.
off. He jerks off with a bunch of like random guys in their own avatars. His design is he kind of looks like the Lagoon Monster. He's got like it's like fins, and I guess his character swims or
Dino,
something.
how
but-
can you call anything gay?
I
Or how can
know.
you?
Because Leo made all this shit up in his
I
gay
didn't.
mind,
No,
bro.
he didn't.
I was
said
sleeping
this.
on the couch during the Patreon, and he
You know,
slanders me.
Mitch was very shocked that this happened.
That's
too,
definitely
and I-
true. Why, Leo? I've hung out with Leo for the last 4 years, and I've
Right.
done a lot of improvising with him. There's no way Leo's improv mind would ever come up with something like that. I just know how it works.
I don't even know about this VR world. I didn't know that you could do all that. You have your own avatar and you can look around and see everybody else
Dino-
jerking off to the same porn. I mean, God.
I mean, your party, you're Republican. Your guys' big thing is like, oh, stop the groomers, stop the indoctrination in school, stop the furries, stop all this perverse sex play. But here you are, dressed up like a swamp monster, beating yourself silly next to
Yes.
maybe a child.
It could be. Who knows who it is? Or a 50-year-old man. It could be. Who knows who it is?
What do you have to say for yourself, bud?
Bro, hell no. I don't even watch porn. That shit's gay.
All right. He's not going to come clean about it. So you're in here, you pass out on the couch, you throw up. How many times do you throw up the next morning?
I couldn't tell you I threw up so much. I just would throw up and then drink water and then throw up and then drink water.
At what time did you stop throwing up?
Like, I don't know. It's hard to tell time in here because there's no like light.
It's like a casino.
It was like 3 p.m. maybe, and then I just laid there like in silence.
That's really, really late. Okay, Dino, when you're hammered drunk, do you have any instincts to hit up your girlfriend, the one you went official with a few episodes ago?
I just went to sleep.
Tino, did her mother find out about you? I mean, that used to happen to me. Well, to be honest, it happens to me even now. I mean, last year I met a girl that I thought was dope, and then sure enough, her mother found out about me by a little Google, right? And
Oh, shit.
there's way too much going on in that Google where she's like, I don't want him around you. You know what I mean? Did that happen to you? Because that girl, you stopped mentioning her. You went. I mean, you guys were. It seemed like an unbelievable romance.
I heard wedding bells.
Same. I knew it was. I mean, he was going to be the guy that met this girl, and all of a sudden he's like, "Listen, I'm serious now, Danny. I stopped smoking weed. I got a corporate job. I want to provide for this woman and have kids."
Smoking weed.
Yeah. What if he
Stop,
turned hella left wing?
He probably will.
Oh,
the
for
right
sure.
girl will make him. You don't think like?
Oh, 100%.
Think about like, look, if Sky Bree was not a porn star, because I know Dino has his morals, but if Sky Bree was a random ditzy anime
or
chick,
Kazumi. He likes Asians.
exactly. Oh, he loves it. You remember his face when he grabbed Kazumi's tits?
Absolutely, I do. If
I'll
Kazumi,
never forget it.
If Kazumi was like trans rights or human rights, non-binary is a real identity, Dino would fucking go switch his pronouns on
Here's
Instagram.
the thing. I don't even
instantly.
Questions asked.
I don't have the processing power to like try and do all that shit. Like I would slip up within like an hour or something.
Based.
Not if pussy was on the line. So Dino, you threw
I
up
don't know,
a lot.
man.
Let's go back. Congratulations, by the way. That sounds like a really productive day.
It was really good.
Austin, tell me about the tournament.
Okay, so there were like 25 fat guys with beards, mainly Hispanic.
Really?
Wow, that is
And-
odd.
Did not think the Hispanics are really getting their fingers in a lot of areas of the world.
Recently, I mean, they're mainly our fans.
They love our channel. We love
they
them.
Love our channel. But go ahead. What's going on?
A couple cool black guys, and
Even
I got second place.
What is it about a black man that even if he's at a goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, he's still going to be like, he could still spit some game.
Yeah, and he's probably the best one there.
Yeah, exactly. Even at the card games, huh?
Yeah.
The skater of the year this year, Thrasher Magazine, they always anoint the skater of the year who had the gnarliest parts or was just killing it the hardest. Tyshawn Jones, I think his name was. It's just black dudes dominate everything. All right, they even dominate skateboarding, which is just the nerdiest, whitest activity one could ever imagine.
It's wild, but I mean, you think like you know, them becoming more liberal as they do seem. I mean, honestly, most black guys that you talk to person are conservative. But if they really start going to the left, in 100 years, they might not be the cool ones anymore. They might not be the ones that can dance. You know what I mean? Like it might be Latinos. No, it's probably
You're
gonna
gonna
be
get
Latinos.
canceled, bro. You can't say that shit.
What do you mean?
Can't say that shit.
And then 100 years, black guys might not be able to dance well because they're so dorky.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Dino's
I think
just
that's
saying,
okay.
he's just saying words. Don't even listen to him. So Austin, you got second place. You should have rewarded yourself by punching yourself directly in the face.
Hey, I mean, I won maybe like $70 worth of cards.
Wow, your cards have appreciated by $10, and you won $70. Not even in USD. They gave him more cards. Wow.
What a scam! What was the entrance fee for the tournament?
$5.
Okay, it's not too bad.
No, I thought it was gonna be like $150. Still, I mean, you were paying these people to waste your time. Anything else happen there, Austin? Any other observations?
Not really. Not anything that would make me sound cool.
The way you're describing it, did they all kind of like? Was there a few guys that looked like Mudflap there?
Mexican mudflap.
Mexican
Like,
Mudflap?
yeah.
What if we had Mudflap in the middle of the tournament just barf?
Honestly, some of those Mexican mudflaps made Mudflap look like a Victoria's Secret model. These guys, their shoes were compromised under the weight
Hey,
of
he's
their bodies.
Mudflap he's slimming down a little bit.
Yeah, he is.
Let's see. It could compromise his brand. But I say with that, we bring our attention over to our guest over here.
Before we'd continue, I guess I would say you just came back from Ukraine. But before anything else,
Yes,
Reza
I
is a survivalist. You were on.
Wait, he's a survival expert. A
survival
survivalist.
expert.
That makes me think he's got a compound in North Dakota and he's stockpiling guns.
Do
you
you?
say he's a survivalist? A survivalist
like
is an actual thing. A survivalist is preparing for doomsday or a
Okay.
government meltdown.
Or like a prepper or something like that.
Yes,
right?
a doomsday prepper.
Yeah.
Which that's cool too. Is that you at all?
No, that's like anti-me. That's not me at all.
Got it. You are a survival expert. You survive in the elements, but you're a regular person who
Yeah.
lives a normal life. outside of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Reza, we were up there. It was really one of the gnarliest things we've ever done on the channel.
Yeah, well, you were
For us.
losing your mind around that time. I mean, you came up with that other bit with the pigs and all that during that time that we will never talk about. But you were doing things like, okay, 24-hour survival challenge, and it was snowing. And you thought this was a great idea.
It was gnarly. And it was more gnarly for me because I wasn't in Candy Cane Alley like you were.
Son of a bitch.
Remember Candy Cane Alley, Reza?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, I
exciting.
remember.
Oh, man. But
Austin was there too. I forgot all,
Yeah.
all three of us in this room, or four of us.
I remember Reza telling this fucking crazy story about, were you in Africa where you didn't eat for 40 days and you were surviving off the land for 40
let's talk
days?
a little bit about our trip more.
Yeah.
Like, so-
Well, yeah, no,
Okay.
let's revisit and then I wanted to give him some qualification. I like to the Italian thing to do when you first introduce someone is kind of be like, this fucking guy, he gets so much fucking pussy, he's got a 9-inch cock.
Oh,
he's the
sang
man.
it.
This
He-
guy's the fucking man.
He drove up in a Maserati.
yeah,
a
this
fucking
guy, you
the
gotta
one that-
fucking respect this guy. So I wanted to do that to him.
He
you know?
lives in a $4 million fucking Spanish castle up in that Laurel Canyon.
Fuck yeah, he's got fucking 2 naked chicks there right now waiting for him.
Now that we've introduced you.
Yes.
I like that.
How I know to you that was absolutely kindergarten shit when we stayed up there on that hillside. It was pretty
Yeah.
close to civilization, but it was, I mean, we slept outside with nothing more than sleeping. Did we even have sleeping bags? I don't
did.
think we had
Only
sleeping
allowed
bags.
to bring one item.
Yeah, you're an
That was the
asshole,
rule.
dude. And I brought Coronas.
Yeah.
I think we sent Inland Iggy to get more alcohol. That's the only thing we sent him to get, too.
Yes.
Which was,
Yeah, we did. That was, I think, when we did Yosemite, we started loosening up a little bit. We realized that the content would be better if we could eat.
Yeah.
If we maybe had some shelter a night. But that first one we did, we slept just on our sides
Yeah.
in the dirt, the
Yeah.
freezing dirt
Yeah.
next to the fire.
Yeah.
That was all we could get.
Yeah, it's hard to do shit when you're actually cold, huh?
Super
like
hard.
when you're cold and hungry. And
You
then
can't be funny.
No, you want to do stuff, but you can't. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough, man. And because the fire it seems sweet, but in that weather, the fire really only heats up the part of your body that's close to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're curled up in the fetal position, your forearms and
Yeah.
your shins are getting warm.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, your vital organs are still freezing.
No, it was cold. Like you're hot in the front, but your back is cold.
Yes.
So you got to like rotate every once in a while.
Yes.
I was once on a survival course and it was so cold that I was so close to the fire. And the next morning I woke up and I cooked my forehead. It looked like beef jerky.
But you had to do it though.
No, it was it was that cold.
How cold is it? How cold? What was the temperature like that
God,
night?
it had to be in like the 20s or something, but you're exposed and you're doing a survival course, so you didn't bring, you're not out there with a sleeping bag and all your gear, so you're just out next to a fire.
Right.
So that's why.
That healed up nicely though. That's good at least.
I know, but I feel like I'd actually have even less wrinkles if that never happened.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
know?
see what you're saying.
I-
and I'm old. I'm like,
how,
but
how old are you?
I'm 38.
wow, you look great.
Yeah, thank you.
Leo would have thrown
Survival.
himself into a ravine if Leo cooked his face accidentally.
true.
Because
I would've
he is a very vain man.
Not been happy. I mean, yeah, that's all I got.
What's your
you know?
background, Leo?
My mom's
Gay,
Colombian. Not
Colombian,
for
okay.
Dino.
Colombian, and my dad's Argentinian Italian, which is, this is why I'm wearing Argentina. If they win one more game, they play in the World Cup, and
Yeah, right. on.
most people would agree that they have the greatest soccer player in the universe of all time, Lionel Messi. So if he wins the World Cup, he's like cemented as the greatest of all time. And I showed you his Instagram. He's got 389 million followers and a very hot wife, Danny.
Whatever. man. I used to play soccer when I was in fifth grade, not even fifth grade, when I was 5 years old. I used to chase around the soccer ball. My mom would bring me there in the Ford Windstar. Good stuff, Messi.
You ever score-
You're playing a game that 5-year-olds
Yeah.
play.
You ever score a goal?
Hell yeah, dude.
I never got into soccer.
I was an old dude. It's,
You think
it's a
I'd-
child's
I'd
game.
get- you think
The
I'd be
thing
into
you would
it.
like about the Argentinian team, it's a bunch of Danny Mullins, dude. You know what the goalkeeper did when he saved 2 penalties against the Netherlands. He went up to their bench, went like this, and he goes, "I fuck you guys twice." He said that to him.
Well, that's bold words from a man who's basically playing with Legos.
That's true.
It's a children's game.
It's a children's game, but there's a lot of pressure. You know, they got their nation really following closely. You know what I mean? You know the views the World Cup gets?
Oh, it's so
wild.
exciting, Leo. Yeah, 1 goal per game is considered really high scoring.
Look, I understand.
So
I'm not going to
exciting.
go watch an MLS game, but I will tell you that the World Cup is an exciting event. It's an event. It's like countries battling each other
How
for
do you
supremacy.
even? The camera is about 30,000 feet above the stadium. That's what it is. It's just like this bird's eye view of a bunch of idiots chasing around a round thing. How do you even know it's messy out there? Messi
Well,
could just pay some other guy to run around. The cameras are so far pulled out.
You can tell because of the way he like moves, basically. But you're right. There is there's a lot of people that do agree that there needs to be kind of a production change in the way they show soccer, and there has to be some closer angles and stuff like that. There's definitely a lot wrong with the game, and I completely agree with you. But there is a mass appeal that's interesting, and I don't think we'll ever really understand it.
It's war. It's like war,
Exactly.
but no one's dying.
But no one's dying.
Yeah.
That's 100% what it
That's
is.
what it
It's
is,
the
yeah.
truth. Yeah, that is what it is.
I sincerely hope people who play in the World Cup.
What?
Go to
What?
war.
If something bad happened to the
What? There did. You know what happened? There was
What
a
happened?
journalist, Danny, in Qatar. Qatar is a country where
Yeah.
you don't have white privilege.
No, well, their civil rights, excuse me, their human rights,
are
really
bad.
up to snuff over there.
You know what they did to a journalist, buddy? His name was, I forget his name. We can probably look this up. He decided that he wanted to wear a Trans Lives LGBTQ shirt to the game, right? Against Argentina and the Netherlands. He suddenly came down with a mysterious illness and he died that day in the hospital.
Wow. That's the only thing redeeming about soccer. Because
What?
listen to
Did
me.
they kill the guy?
No, listen to me. Listen to me.
Well, every once in a while, a game gets like really violent, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no,
they'll
I
rip
like
someone's
how-
they'll rip someone's head off.
Head off. I mean, that did
right?
happen in Brazil. They sliced a referee's head off and they
Yeah.
put it on the stake on the flag.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
This guy, dude, they fucking smoked this guy in Qatar.
Wait, I thought the official story with this guy was that he tripped and fell and hit his head.
See, there's
Am I
different
tripping?
stuff going out around
Look at it.
everywhere. I heard it was an
okay.
illness.
And I want to
Oh.
specify that I was not celebrating this man's demise.
No, of course not.
It reminded me that. Okay, let me put it this way. This
Mm-hmm.
is going to seem pretty dark, but soccer, we can say objectively, is the worst sport ever invented. Your Yu-Gi-Oh tournament was more exciting, Austin. There's no stakes. A guy, if a dude gets hit with a blade of grass, an errant blade of grass hits him in the leg, he falls to the ground and starts crying.
Well, that is because that's part of the game. They
Oh, a
have
great
to-
part of the game.
It's
Wow.
not a great
Being
part
a
of the game.
bitch is part
That's
of the game.
nothing. Okay, it all sucks.
Wait, what
They're all
about golf? Is
strat.
golf a sport?
Golf is better than this, okay? golf. The good thing about
People
golf,
that watch golf
is when
don't
you're playing golf, you're probably out there talking about pussy, or you are
Getting hammered.
finalizing $100 million real estate deals.
That's
Okay,
true.
Real
golf-
stuff gets done
yeah.
on the golf.
Some
pitch.
shit goes down.
Real stuff. Soccer, though, it's a bunch of overpaid crybabies chasing an orb. I did it when I was 5 years old, and I probably did it better. The score is 0-0, and it usually ends in a draw. The only thing that's redeeming is that the stadium is built on a bunch of dead bodies.
It was the modern day slaves, I
It's-
presume. 400 is the number, I guess, of deaths.
I mean, that's the only thing that links it back to the gladiatorial times of old. It feels a little bit like the Colosseum, not because the guys in there are doing anything cool in competition. It's because it was so perilous to build the place.
It's wild. Penalties are kind of exciting. Have you ever watched a penalty shootout?
Yeah, I love it. I love when they pull out a yellow card and go, "Hey, stop doing that. It's mean." I love it. It's a great sport. I can't get enough.
We should slide tackle people in public as a bit, though.
I would love that.
That would be kind of fun.
You know what? The only good thing about soccer is the guys get concussed when they do headers.
Yeah.
I hope they all really start emphasizing headers. I hope they make it illegal to kick the ball and all you can do is headers. And I hope everybody gets CTE.
They should just make it to where they can punch each other.
I like that
Oh,
too.
God.
You can punch each other and you can head the ball and you can, to kick a goal, they prop up one of the skeletons of the guys who died building the stadium.
my
and you just
God,
have to behead him with a soccer ball.
Oh, nice. What about the family? What about the family of that gentleman? Huh, Danny?
They mount the skeleton of the gentleman like a skeleton in science class, and they line up his family.
Oh, they line up his family too to watch.
This is how the PK system works.
Oh my God.
And then you got to, from 30 yards, you got to get the ball right on the guy's skeleton and just behead it right on his skull.
Well, I guess like the sheer misery that his family's in is going to distract you and make you a little tighten up a little bit. So the stakes are going to be high.
We need to reinvent
Stakes
soccer.
are going to be high.
Yes, Leo. We need higher stakes.
Okay, the way it was really what the game that it came from, and Reza might. Where are you from?
I'm
Are
half
you saying he's
Mexican, half
Mayan?
Iranian.
How- Oh, he is
Mexican,
Mayan.
he is half Mexican, half Iranian. But listen, the Mexican, like I don't know if it was the Mayan culture
hip game?
the hip game that
that what
ended
it's from?
with the other team getting killed.
The winner got killed.
The
from what I
winner
understand.
got killed.
Sacrifice.
The winner got
winner got
killed.
sacrificed?
Because that's the thing I love. I love the arguments that like, oh, it was so peaceful in the Americas
Native
until Columbus came.
yeah.
You love that too, Reza?
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. But the
The noble savage
Yes,
myth.
but at the same time, 100,000 people are getting their hearts ripped out at the top of a ziggurat. But
Yeah.
we're supposed to ignore that. But that was another thing. They would just, if you won the soccer game, they wanted to give the gods the best people, the kickball game rather. So they would sacrifice the winners. I see where you're going, Leo. We absolutely must apply that to our new form of
You
sport.
could remake the game of soccer and then have fans come out and play according to your new rules.
Be
It'd
great.
Like if you take your dick out.
Oh my
You-
God!
of
What happens
course.
if you take your dick out?
What are you talking? It's me and Leo. Of course, taking your dick out is going to be a big thing.
It's a good thing. It's going to be a positive thing if you take your dick out.
I think we give, basically we need Nico. Every game needs Nico. Maybe we get his little brother. We have to breed Nico. So we have a bunch more Nikos for the future.
He played a lot of soccer too. He played high school soccer.
We
Nico
get
was our
Nico.
cameraman, Reza, if you remember him.
Oh yeah.
We get him.
Nico.
Nico,
Yeah.
at halftime, Nico gets completely blacked out. We load him up on dick pills. And he like watches deer having sex or something until he
my
gets like
God.
really aroused and starts masturbating. And then we turn him loose. We turn him loose on one of the benches. And they just have to kill him with their parents. they have to.
Killing Nico bits. You come up with a killing Nico bit way too often. One time you were like, hey, Leo, what if we just fucking get a helicopter and drop Nico out of it? It's fucking hilarious.
So, dude, Danny, I filmed with Danny Duncan this weekend.
that's dope.
And he was gonna do a bit where this Australian daredevil he knows was gonna jump out of a helicopter, and we were trying to negotiate getting Nico into the helicopter, getting him to jump out with his wee out.
Dude, wait, Danny Duncan didn't offer him a bunch of money?
That's what we were hoping might happen.
I didn't.
But the helicopter thing, it was a no-go because it was cloudy.
Yeah,
But
yeah, let's not do that.
I asked Nico, I was like, dude, if Danny Duncan, because he's so fucking rich, if he was like a 25 grand to jump out of the helicopter with your little wee out.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
on.
But Nico attacks the opposing bench, and they just have to kill him with their bare hands. Or one of Nico's descendants, because we got to breed Nico. And he's completely naked, and he just comes at him like a wild man. Where were we?
Well,
Great.
we have a man with just so much knowledge. He was just in Ukraine. He survived for 40 days in Africa with no food and just regular water or whatever. But we're designing a new game where Nico takes his wee out and attacks the bench in soccer. Why don't we ask him? Why don't we talk about what's going on in Ukraine right now? How long were you there?
I was there for 3 weeks.
Wow, just now.
Yeah.
Wow.
A couple weeks ago. So I went with a nonprofit,
Okay.
White Stork, and their website is operationwhitestork.org. But what they do is they deliver supplies to frontline units. So the guys that are actually fighting on the front lines, fighting the Russians.
Wow.
How was morale over there?
Morale was good. I mean, the Ukrainian people they're just like, they're a prideful people, and
That's one of the deadly sins. They're be careful with that.
I know, but they're gonna fight till the last one of them, dies. They're just gonna keep going, and that's what I gathered.
Was it cold?
If a bomb drops in the city, they're out there cleaning it up that day. Like within a day or two, that site is cleaned up. So they're trying to keep morale high, even though they're getting bombed constantly.
What kind of when they bomb a city? I mean, anybody that could be there, women, children, or dying.
Well, yeah. The thing is like Russians are fucking they're horrible at their weapon systems are just like from the 80s.
So that's
Wow,
true.
that's a true thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
you
like
hear a lot of that.
You
but-
hear, yeah, exactly.
and even like they're using a lot of those Iranian drones. And I mean, I was there, and while I was there for a week in Kyiv, they were trying to bomb this electricity plant, and they missed it every day. So they would hit all the buildings around it, but they couldn't hit the actual plant that they were aiming for.
And that's their strategy. They're trying to take out the power grids so
They
that
were,
people
yeah.
freeze to death because we're entering the winter now, and that's a weapon that they're using. Was it really cold?
It wasn't cold yet. So we had it was warm weather while we were there, so we got lucky, but right now I guess it's freezing. So, yeah.
And they're still trying to knock out those power grids.
Yeah, they're doing that. I think that they probably did a better job at that after we left. I think right after we left, they had one of their biggest missile days. They shot like 100 or 200 missiles
Oh my God.
into Ukraine.
Holy shit.
So they were just bombarding cities. So I think things got worse after we left.
So they're doing this, and I mean, do the Ukrainian people kind of feel like at some point, we're going to have to just give up, or?
No. So what happened is that America and the Western countries have kind of come to their aid, right? So we're giving them supplies, and when we started doing that, that just totally changed the tide of war.
Wow.
Yeah. So while we were there, I was asking the guy that I was working with. I work with this war correspondent, journalist, filmmaker. His name's Robert Young Pelton, and I was asking him last year. I was working on a documentary with him, and I was like, "When are we going to Ukraine?" And he's like, "Dude, we're not going to Ukraine right now because the Russians are bombing the hell out of them, right?" So right when we went a few weeks ago, the Ukrainians were making the push, and they're pushing the Russians out. So they're reclaiming a ton of territory. So if you ever go into a war zone, you don't want to go when people are invading. You want to go when there's the resistance and they're pushing the
So you were there when that was
Russians out.
happening. How far were you from the front lines?
Yeah, so we came in from Krakow, and then we went through to we drove to Kyiv for a few days.
Krakow's
from
Poland?
Kyiv, yeah, Krakow's Poland.
So
yeah.
you can still fly into the airport.
It's the closest city.
Gotcha.
Yes.
What is it like when you
to
cross the
Ukraine.
border into Ukraine?
Yeah.
It takes like an hour or two, right? Like it's
Long
it's
line of
not-
traffic?
No, like yes, usually there is. Supposedly, we were told there was. When we went, there was almost no one going into the country. A few cars, and then they kind of just let anyone in.
Yeah, I mean,
So they let you in.
What
I mean,
are
people,
you going to do? You're going to bring some pot into their country? There
Yeah.
are Patriot missiles flying through the air.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
people are going into the country to fight. It's a weird place. People are bringing in supplies, so they're taking all the help that they can get. Right?
Wow.
I mean, I went to Chad last year, and they held us in the airport for like 2 days, and made us sleep on the floor. It's like,
Oh my
to get
God.
into
Screw that,
that
dude.
country, but Ukraine was like, yeah, come on in. So,
I wonder, whenever you're a brave man, because I feel like if I was in Ukraine the entire time, I'd be thinking, God damn it, what an idiot I would be to just fucking somehow die while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And rid myself of the opportunity to get pussy for the rest of my life. I'm only 35. There's a lot of ladies.
You're
to be
36.
had.
yeah, but you kind of go to your
36
but-
original asshole.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, but you're going.
So why do you do it?
There's a
Reza?
lot of pussy in Ukraine.
I bet,
also,
dude.
right?
Hell yeah, there
Okay,
is.
So
Reza does get a lot of pussy whenever he's doing these little tours or whatnot. But
I'm sure the pussy in Ukraine is more motivated to F than the pussy over here because
course.
it might all end tomorrow.
You're right, and I could use my line. Life is finite. And
It'd be so.
oh my God, it'd be so effective. Dude, should we go to Ukraine and do Life is Finite?
I think Americans should care about Ukraine because of
they're women because of the pussy. They're
that's
top
one of the
pussy,
reasons,
dude.
right?
What is it?
It's
I mean,
top-notch
I
pussy.
introduced you to
Nobody,
some
no
in
one
Mexico,
talks
buddy.
about that.
Yeah,
You're
we
welcome.
met a beautiful Ukrainian woman, and I had a brief romance with her. She never gave me the time of day, to be completely honest, but it was brief and it was intense. It
Yeah.
didn't work out.
Yeah.
but there's hope.
Well,
for the
you'd
future.
crush in Ukraine right now.
Oh
so.
man,
So you get into Ukraine. How far do you have to drive before you start seeing signs that a war is on? Because that is so foreign to me. To
Right.
drive
Yeah.
anywhere and to hear gunfire, I can't imagine it. The closest I've been is watching old World War II footage or watching Saving Private Ryan. Where do you start to feel, oh my God, I might actually be in danger. People are fighting.
When you start getting into Lviv, you start to feel that.
What's that? Lviv is just
Lviv is a city that's
Right
on
there. Yeah.
it's on the western side of Ukraine. So
How many
Ukraine
hours is that away from the border?
God, how many hours was that? 4 hours, I think.
4 hours. Stuff's
Yeah.
pretty chill. You're driving down the road. There are gas stations. People are conducting their lives sort of as normal.
Yeah, it seems kind of western. There's a lot of farmland. There's not much going on, but a lot of farmland and stuff. Then you start getting into Lviv, which is a European, city, and it's just modern with like beautiful architecture, and you're there. And then that's like the first time that we heard the missile systems go off, right? Like
Ukrainian missile systems?
Yeah.
And
So
are they attacking the Russians or are they counter-striking? Shooting
no,
stuff
I'm
down?
sorry. It's the alarm.
Oh, the alarm.
Yeah, the air raid system starts going on. So you're in your room and you just start hearing
That's
like,
so
and that's
scary.
yeah, and it is. It's kind of bizarre, right? Because you
Right.
hear it echoing throughout the city, and then and in your mind, it's like it was my first time there. I'm thinking, you just feel like a missile's going to drop on your head.
Were you hearing explosions?
And you have to start rationalizing like that you're more likely to die in a car crash than you are from a missile strike.
Is that real? Does that apply in the Ukraine?
Well,
I think it applies
whatever,
here.
I think it
whatever
applies.
helps, you know what I mean?
That was
Yeah.
okay. That piece of
No,
advice, that's for like, you're more likely to die in a car accident than be killed by a terrorist. That's true in Los Angeles. But in this place, Aviv or whatever you're
Lviv.
were you hearing missile impacts during these air raid sirens?
No, so like when you hear the air raid siren, it goes off in an oblast, which is kind of like what like a state would be here in the U.S. So it just means that there's missiles in the air. They don't know where it's going to hit.
Oh my god!
So you never heard them hit anywhere around you?
In Kyiv.
In Kyiv
Is when I
it's more
started
intense.
hearing them hit.
Oh my
Then I started hearing them hit a lot.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
So how did that
And
go?
we almost got.
So
Yeah,
you were
let's hear
you were in
that.
Lviv, if I'm getting
Yeah.
that right, and then you decide like, hey, there's not enough action here. I've already gotten blown by 3 of the local girls. We need more action. So you start moving which direction toward Kyiv?
Yeah. So then we start heading east. So you keep heading east, and then you hit Kyiv, and Kyiv is the capital.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's weird because it's like a Western city. Things are going on.
Is it
People are
bombed
living their
out?
daily lives. And you see signs of bombing,
Mm-hmm.
but most of it looks normal.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so most of it looks
Because
normal.
they're doing a good job of
They're
cleaning.
cleaning it up.
Yeah.
And we end up staying in before we went, we're told we're not going to stay in the center of the city, but we end up staying in the center of the city in like a Radisson Blue or something like that.
Radisson
my
Blue.
God.
Something like
So
that.
it's a
yeah.
nice regular hotel,
Yeah, it's like a normal hotel, yeah.
like a Western hotel, a Radisson
Yeah.
in the middle of Kyiv.
Yeah.
Is it dangerous?
If you real quick, if you called and maybe complained about something, are they like, shut up, we're in the war, go fuck
Hey,
yourself?
listen, so I found a pube. This isn't a big deal, but I am a little tiffed. There is a pube in the corner of my shower. Can you send somebody up? And I'd really not like to pay for this night's stay. Is that all right? And
Go
honestly,
fuck yourself.
there's no. And also, I'm out of tissues. There was only 2. You didn't restock it. Okay, I want lotion. There's no lotion.
It puts things in perspective, I bet, right?
Yeah, no,
Traveling
but the
over
thing
there.
is like the people are the rooms are fine and they're perfect, right? Because
bet,
the
yeah.
people are like they got their shit together.
Of course,
it's
yeah.
like somewhat of a Western country.
Yeah.
and but that's when the air raids started going on every day, and then that's when we started hearing explosions and the drones coming in.
Fuck that.
Yeah, the drones
dude.
coming
I'm
in.
out. As soon
Yeah.
as I hear one, I'm out.
Tell me about the explosions. Are you hearing them off in the distance outside of the city, or are there impacts in the city?
They're in the city. So when I was in Kyiv, the explosions are going off maybe like a kilometer from us.
Come on,
Speak
dude.
American, dude. How
Yeah,
many
it's
miles?
Less than a
Kilometer.
mile. It's like 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah, 3/4 of a mile.
Okay.
Close to that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
You could have
little
just 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah,
asshole.
well.
Sorry, Riz. I'm sorry.
That's good.
So they're about a mile away. And then what's the deal? Do you feel like if one hit the Radisson Blue, you would still be okay because it would hit the ceiling?
Yeah, so when the air raid alarms go off, so they got that system, right? So there's a bunch of guys on the east and on the border of Russia, and they're just looking out for missiles coming in, right? So when those alarms go off, everyone's supposed to go downstairs into the shelter. So our shelter was the parking garage.
Okay, that makes sense.
And it just gets annoying. You just start getting fucking annoyed.
Right.
You start getting annoyed by the Russians because it's like happens once.
I've always been annoyed.
Then it happens again. Then it happens again, and then it's like all day. And then when they do that, they have to shut the city down.
Right.
So you're just like, God, these guys are assholes.
Is it true that the reason they can never hit their targets with the missiles is not because of outdated technology, but because they're always so blacked the fuck out on vodka?
I think that there's probably some truth to that.
I think it probably is too.
I think it's a mix.
How many times a day are those sirens going off?
So that's the fucked up thing. So they always go off early in the morning, like at like 5:45, 6 o'clock.
Wow.
So like first light, a
Dino
little before
wouldn't do
first
well.
light, they're going off. And they're doing that for psychological purposes, right? They're doing it to fuck with you.
Yeah, of course.
Because every day you got to wake up and you're like, oh shit, a missile. You know, it gets you up out of bed and you're just like, ugh.
But in a way, that kind of just makes your enemy more motivated. Then they turn into like a bunch of Jocko Willinks, and they're like, seize the day.
Well, dude,
Get
it's
after
like
it.
every
Stay hard. Let's go.
Dude, every Ukrainian looks like a boxer.
Yeah,
and
like-
Klitschko is the mayor of Kyiv.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
dude. Just a
dude.
6'5",
So they all-
beast.
6'6"
Yeah, just animal.
beast.
Hear
Yeah.
me out, dude. I know I've had a lot of ideas today about how to improve stuff. I think the Russian strategy should be they do airdrops, sort of like what we did in Berlin back in the day. They do airdrops, just crates of hard liquor and whores. They drop those into the city, and they don't start their first bombing raid until about noon, 1 p.m.
yeah.
So that really encourages the Ukrainians to stay out late, party, and sleep in. And then that's going to ripple down to the military. And the military is going to be real slothful, and they're going to be real lusty.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea, Nanny.
Not a horrible
I'm
idea.
thinking, dude, waking them up early is the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
What was your job there? You said you were giving things to the guys in the front line. So what was that like when you went and you interacted with these warriors?
Yeah. So I was filming. So I'm a documentary filmmaker. So I was filming with these guys and just interviewing, with White Stork, and then also getting, firsthand accounts and stories with the soldiers on the front lines.
What were they saying to you?
Yeah. So, all kinds of things. Basically, fuck the Russians, and we're gonna
Yeah.
fight till every single
The Russians.
last one of us are dead.
Damn.
But yeah,
They're
a
basically
bunch
the
of
same
cool
people. That's like us saying we hate people from Texas. I mean, they're pretty much the same, right?
No, well, yeah, except they're getting
Texas didn't
bombed
invade
by
us,
the
yeah.
Russians,
Yeah, except
you know what I mean?
we're not getting bombed by the Texans. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got it easy
We
here,
might.
man. Like the stuff, like we,
course we do,
everyone's pissed about.
No,
It's
oh
just
my
like
God, no!
Child's
You
play
don't
compared to
know
these people.
how far trans lives and people of color's lives are in danger ever since Trump got in the White House. Like,
Oh, God.
we're in. People are dying out there. The police are slaughtering
People
people.
don't put things in perspective, man.
People
I mean,
are- no, it's like if you get misgendered, that's a form of
Yeah.
violence.
I do
Yeah,
think
so-
Zelensky fucked up when he did the Vogue photo shoot, though. I thought that was out of control. I don't know
Yeah.
why he did that, but
What was the Vogue photo?
he just
shoot? I
did
don't
it. He
remember.
did him and his
cock
wife.
out. It was
Dude, him and
controversial.
his
This was
wife-
recent, yeah?
Yeah, this was recent. It was about probably like 6 months ago, 5
Yeah.
months ago. He did like a full like Vogue interview / photo shoot like in front of ruins with his wife, like looking kind of sexy. He's an actor. He was an actor.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like it was just like, what the hell?
Like
was
bad
the point?
taste.
Yeah, bad taste. Like, what is the point of this?
Yeah,
not
yeah.
bad.
But
He's
he's a
trying to-
badass, and historically, like that, I'm okay with people using art in that kind of way.
Yeah, it
Even
was just-
like how much it
was
seems, you know what I
propaganda,
mean?
dude? Fucking Winston
Yeah.
Churchill was always walking around with a cigar and fucking.
Right, so
we
Danny's
fight
one of
on
those
the
guys,
beaches,
though.
We
He
will
was-
never surrender.
What's up, guys? I just wanted to remind you guys real quick that Leo and Friends is now the Leo and Danny Show Patreon show, and good old Nico Villacreses is now the host. So if you want to see me and Nico get tipsy, have a little fun, make some prank phone calls, tune in, check it out. It's linked below, right, Austin? It is. It's linked below. The Leo and Danny Show Patreon. The Leo and Friends show is located on there, and it is fantastic. So come on down and enjoy the show with me and Nico Villacreses. Peace. Danny's
I don't
one of
know if
those
it's
guys, Rez. I want to let you know that he was pretty good at paintball, and he does think that he would be great in the war.
Yeah, I think
he's one of those guys.
Dude, I have a friend that's super into paintballing.
Dude, listen.
He was out there yesterday, and he wants to go to Ukraine
Reza,
so bad.
listen,
And I'm just saying, you go.
Well, listen, dude. Back in the day, man.
Let's go fight.
When I used to play at WAP Paintball Park with Team Avalanche, off the break, it was nothing for me to run and shoot. G1, G2, hitting 2 off the break,
that's the
and
shit.
then dive into the snake.
Yeah.
Crawl.
No.
Snake 2, snake 3, get all the way in the middle of the field, pop up G3 right there, and then run down G4 and G5.
Yeah.
Game over.
No,
dude.
I think
Hang the
paintballing's
flag,
awesome.
over.
Dude, you can't get to anything closer to war than probably paintballing and airsoft. I've never airsoft before, but paintballing, like you get the rush, and you learn the tactics. I think you actually probably be pretty good.
Airsoft's whack.
Doing urban
Airsoft's
stuff.
like, so paintball is Magic the Gathering, and then this One Piece game is Airsoft.
So, Reza, any stories that of Ukrainian that you heard that really kind of stuck with you?
Yeah. Well, I almost blew up one night.
Let's talk about that.
That was kind of
blew up the toilet. And
yeah. Well,
what'd you do?
that happened afterwards in Serbia, but while I was still there though. So we hit Kyiv, and then from Kyiv we kept heading east, so closer and closer to the front lines. And as you go more and more east, things start looking worse, and there's more destruction, and you get into those regions. So I think we were leaving the city of Mykolaiv, and we were heading back west when the Will McNulty of White Stork, he got a phone call from a friend. And on that phone call, it said, hey, some of the supplies that you sent us saved our lives. And we're about an hour away from it. We realized we were now an hour away from them. They were in this town, Druskivka. So we turned around and we went and saw it and hung out with these guys. And these guys were a member of a group called Cord. And Cord is basically their version of the SWAT team.
How do the White Stork, the Cord, how do these guys feel about the Jews? Doesn't this give everybody
Which one?
alt-right vibes? I know, I'm just making a joke, sort of, but it seems like these.
No,
are
this
all
is
like,
interesting.
It seems like
We
this is
should
like
talk
the
about
Proud
that.
Boys and the fucking.
No, we should talk about that afterwards.
There's rumors about that.
Yeah. There are rumors, and there's a lot of misinformation out there.
I didn't mean to just.
No, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool because it is interesting. A lot of people do have this point of view, right?
So you met up with Cord.
So we met up with Cord, and Cord is like our SWAT team. But obviously, when the war happens, you know. Things shift, so they use Cord as kind of like special ops guys, right? Because they're trained in urban assault. So they got like badass. This is the interesting thing. They use the AR-15, system of rifle. You would think they'd be using AK-47s, right?
Right.
But I guess we've licensed the whatever. They're actually producing them in Ukraine. So they all have like badass AR-15s with suppressors on them. And we meet with this guy, and he's got this gun that folds out, and it's like this huge. I got pictures of it, like this huge electronic-looking Star Wars gun, but it shoots down drones.
Oh my god!
So like you point it out, and it shoots out a signal, and it scrambles the brains and like shoots out drones. But he's a drone operator, so he has like this bag of drones that they've repurposed. These are like DJI Mavic 3s.
No,
we need to send the Nicocopter in.
Dude, let's see how it does.
Well, first of all, they do reconnaissance, but they also have attachments that you attach different, grenades and little bombs to, and they drop them on Russians.
What about just for a laugh, getting some doggy doo-doo and attaching it to the drone and dropping it over a trench?
Sure, some stuff like that.
That'd be funny. I feel like that'd be worse for morale.
It's
than
good
a
for.
grenade.
I'm sure humor on the front lines is important.
What about a water balloon full
we're
of
all
jizz?
just-
Drop it on a general's head.
It'd be kind of funny.
That'd
Dude, we're all
fucking
just
great.
fucking around the whole time we're there.
That's
like
dope.
laughing because there's nothing else you can do.
Of course, yeah.
But anyways, that night, so that night he's like, "Hey, I got you guys a place to stay. You're gonna stay in this in Druskivka." So we go back to our little hotel. Now this hotel is like this is like a one road town, at least from like what we can see at night. And we're staying in this hotel, and it's from this like Soviet era of architecture. So it's all just like made out of tin and
It looks like a prison,
plastic, and
or even worse. Maybe.
yeah, it's like a trailer on top of a trailer with more trailers attached to it, kind of thing. And we're drinking till like 12 or whatever, and then we all go up to our rooms and go to bed. And in the middle of the night, at 1:30 in the morning, I'm fast asleep, a few beers in, and I just hear this explosion, this like that rocks me to my core, right? And I instantly, from a dead sleep, just grab my bed and hold and like trying to like duck under something because the whole building is like fucking shaking, And then Will comes in and he's like, dude, they're walking the missiles. So one had hit and I slept through that, and then the next one hit and it's like right next to our hotel.
God, dude.
So then we all get up and we're like fucking run out of the room, grab our shit because it cracked the building and it blew out windows. So then we grab our shit and then we're like, all right, let's head to the shelter. Well, there's no shelter.
Oh, fuck.
So for like the next 2 hours, we have to sit in the stairwell because that's the safe. But I'm telling you, like if an S-300, which is what they were shooting, it's a surface to air missile, hit this building, the whole building would just be annihilated. Gone. Yeah.
What's the distance they're shooting those missiles from?
I couldn't, from where we were stationed. So we were in Drushkivka and they were fighting over a territory called Bakhmut. So there was active fighting going on there, and we were only a couple kilometers away from there.
Oh, see, that's what I was worried about. It'd be one thing if they were lobbing those from hundreds of miles away.
No, they're lobbing them from like a few miles.
A few miles. And the problem is, dude, like if the fucking Russians come marching through and they capture Reza, forget the Brittany Griner treatment, dude. You are going to a gulag for your natural life.
No, dude, I'm like, I'm Russian. I'm like, no, I'm here.
Speak some Russian for us, or are you just going to start fucking?
I bet.
I wish I knew something. That'd probably be good.
How scared were you? Were you like, were you thinking about? Did your laugh? Were you thinking about like your loved ones, about how this was a mistake or anything like that, or were you just confident that you were going to survive through the night?
Yeah, that passes through your head. When we were in the stairwell, we're all sitting there, we're trying to get reports. It's interesting when you're in the moment because, so much of the crazy shit that happens in the world, you hear it from the news, right? And it's after it happened, you have all this information. But when something's like fresh and just happens, and you have this like this sense of not knowing what the next step is going to be, it's pretty dreadful.
Yeah, I can't imagine the anxiety level. You didn't sleep for probably a day or two after that, right?
No, it's insane because by that time we were almost like 2.5 weeks in, and this woman is in the stairwell and she's kind of crying, but she was actually the owner of the hotel, and she says all you can do is pray and sleep.
God damn.
And then, I was probably up for like another 45 minutes, and somehow I went back to my room and I just crashed out for like another 3 or 4 hours.
How the hell did you
And
do
that surprised me because I didn't know how I'd react in that situation.
Was there a risk of the Ruskies rolling through the town and taking prisoners? Is that possible?
No, not there, because there was enough. So what they were shooting the missiles at was they hit a school that supposedly was housing troops. And the hotel that we were
actually a special education building.
And this is what's fucked up. This is what like scared us, was the hotel that we were staying at was where they had shut down for a month because they were housing troops before, and they didn't want to get targeted. And it was owned by like the police commander of that city.
Holy
this
shit.
hotel. So we were like, it's just like, how did we end up in this situation?
Yeah, it's tough. In America, for a while during COVID, the hotels, they were forced to quarter homeless people. In the Ukraine, they're like, soldiers come knocking, which is worse for business. Ukrainian soldiers or homeless people.
The Fourth Amendment, or is it?
Yeah, I think it is the fourth. No, you have the right to not quarter soldiers.
Yeah, that's
Something
what I'm
like
thinking,
that.
at least.
It's an important one.
It's crazy because like when we that same night when we went and met up with the Cord earlier in that night, they were in a house like that. When you're there, it's Russian Ukrainian. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we were in a house and there's like pictures of Dostoevsky on the wall.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think how do you feel about him,
thinking,
Dino? Based or not based?
Not based, dude. He needs to change his name to like fucking Billy Bob.
Dude, Dostoevsky, you don't know this, Dino. He's the most based writer there is. He's a
hardcore
writer, Christian.
Did he write anything in the Bible?
After the fact, though, right?
He was always a hardcore Christian. That's
Was
the
he?
moral to all of his stories. This is, you need to turn over to God. But he wrote stories. There's one Crime
Some
and
of his,
Punishment. you know,
that fucked my head up.
where this guy Raskolnikov kills an old lady with an axe.
A hammer.
It's an axe.
It's an axe.
Yeah,
okay,
it's an axe for sure. That's what do you think about that?
Oh, yeah.
Base, dude.
If he did it himself and then wrote about it, that's pretty base.
But if it's fiction, even
If it's fiction, then like, come on, dude. Not cool, bro.
yeah, you're doing way cooler stuff than he was in his real life. You know, I'm pretty sure Dostoevsky, they sent him to a gulag, and they were this close to executing him. They were about to, and then right before the firing squad or the hangmen pulled the trigger or hung him, orders came in that everybody was pardoned. I'm almost positive, or am I thinking of Lenin? I think it might be Dostoevsky.
I'm pretty sure Dostoevsky went to a gulag.
Dos Equis.
Should we Wikipedia it just so?
But then
It's not that cool.
he went and lived in like some church or something like that for the rest of his life.
He
right?
loved God, but he's a great writer.
know that. I didn't know he was a Christian before.
You usually think of Christians as just terrible artists. Like Veggie Tales is the greatest thing that Christian minds have
Veggie
produced.
Tales is legendary. All right,
All right,
I don't know what
it's
the
based.
fuck you're talking about.
I know it's based. Well, I guess
He was
Christian
that's
minds.
some literature on my level.
Yeah.
Veggie Tales, whatever. But dude, Dostoevsky, Crime and Punishment, it's a lot of those classic quote unquote great novels are totally fucking unreadable. But that book is sick, dude. The guy kills this chick, and then there's a really, really good detective who starts coming after him.
Yeah.
And the detective is also a master psychologist. And he'll just sit down and go into these soliloquies about guilt and about how the killer must
Yeah.
just want to kill himself because of
Yeah.
how awful he must feels. And he just drives Raskolnikov increasingly insane throughout the
Wow.
novel. It's really sick.
Amazing.
That was like one of those books that I read where I thought that I had only thought those thoughts. You know what I mean?
Killing your landlady?
Like you just think that you have, and even when he's talking to the detective, and you're thinking like, oh, only I've thought this crazy shit, and then Dostoevsky like wrote all that shit down 100 years earlier. You know?
He's dope. Yeah, so many people respect Dostoevsky. Like Jordan Peterson jerks
Yeah,
him
he
off,
quotes
Lex
him a lot.
Friedman, all those guys. Yeah, they fucking love him. So let's get back to the story, the lady, the host stairwell. Did you bang her?
Didn't bang her, no.
Okay.
So you slept 3 hours after that, which means you're crazy, obviously. But what how do you feel? What do you think is going to be the end of this war? Or do you think it's going to be one of these things that goes on for 10, 20, 15 years?
Yeah, everyone's saying it's going to go on. I mean, I think it'll go on for the next few years. I have this, I mean, I'm no expert, no one should listen to me, but I
you
have
were
this
there for sure, yeah.
overwhelming feeling that Russia's going to self-implode.
Wow.
Yeah. Like if you're looking at it, just kind of the way everything's going. Or, I mean, he's going to use a nuclear bomb. There's a lot of nuclear talk while we were there.
God
that was a
damn it.
little
I was going to
freaky.
say that. Do
but,
you
yeah.
sense that if that happens, I mean, what's next? I mean, is
They
this
get
an
annihilated.
World
That's
War
why they
III? Yeah,
haven't
exactly.
used it. Yeah.
Right.
No, I think America would wipe them off the map in
Right.
in a second, and
They-
so would all the other nations that had nukes. Yeah,
They'd have to.
yeah. And then after seeing Russian equipment and what they're working with,
Yeah.
Small cocks.
it's hard to believe. Like they have like there's literally a term called the meat wall, and they're just throwing
Told you, cocks.
they're throwing so many bodies at the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians are just mowing them down.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's the problem with Russia, though, is Russia has so many people that they can conceivably never run out of bodies. That's what they did to the Germans. They threw the meat wall at the Germans in World War II.
Yeah.
And the Germans eventually were like, dude, fuck this. We kill 30 Russian men, women, and children that they've given a machine gun to and said charge.
Right.
And then 30 more pop up.
Right.
You can't stop.
Yeah, and that's what they're still doing is they're using that Soviet era warfare. And what the Ukrainians are doing is they're learning now from the West, and it doesn't matter if you got 1 million bodies because drones
Right.
will take that shit out, you know,
That
or
was
some
always
bombers.
when I, in my more liberal days, I would look at my friends with the guns and be like, dude, you couldn't stand a chance against like a mediocre drone. Like it would take out your entire fucking block. You know what I mean? Like if
The
they
government turned on
yeah,
us?
the government turned on us. But like, come on, like one drone could just smoke all your little. Like, what are you gonna do, dude? You know what I mean? Like, you know?
Well, I feel like it would be pretty bad if the government just started droning neighborhoods that it found disagreeable. I think that might trigger some backlash.
Well, of course.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
just
lot
saying,
more
like,
difficult to get troops and stuff to shoot missiles at their own country than another country.
Yeah. And more likely, I mean, if The idea is, I think, that to disarm the populace and to start doing crazy shit and lockdowns, they're going to have to start sending guys with clipboards that work for the Fed, like to your fucking, or not the Fed, but like work for the FBI or something to your house. And that'll just become a little more perilous if there's some one-toothed redneck with a Beretta in there. You ain't taking shit, son. And like pow pow, a couple of those guys get shot, and then more and more of those FBI guys resign because of these fucking crazy hicks in Nashville.
Yeah, it's too difficult of a job to fucking do.
Yeah, and it's getting crazy though. I don't know if you saw all these Twitter revelations that are coming out. Elon's going hard right now.
Hard. I think he got mad over the weekend.
I don't know what happened.
Right.
He went to a Dave Chappelle show.
I think he got booed at Dave Chappelle and got
don't
mad.
go to a San Francisco show. I mean, come on, bro.
He didn't get fully booed. There was some.
He said 10% and 90%. 90% cheers, 10% booze. Booze reign louder than cheers always in any stadium. Like if you like, for example, A-Rod would get booed in every stadium that he ever went to. And I saw him at the Dodger Stadium. I saw him at the Angels Stadium. And it was a very small percentage of the 50,000 people, 45,000 people there. But it sounded resounding because it's a boo. You know what I mean? It's not what you hear at a fucking concert or whatever. But I don't think people hate Elon. I think for the most part, people think he's doing something good, right?
A lot of lefties hate him. But also he went to a show with Dave Chappelle, which you'd think he would have gotten more support because no woke people go see Dave Chappelle because Dave Chappelle is allegedly a transphobe. But Elon, he's getting a lot of shit from the mainstream establishment. I mean, dude, he just tweeted out that his pronouns were prosecute Fauci.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
And there is still a lot of people. I was telling Nico.
He doesn't sleep, Daddy. Does he sleep?
I don't know.
He tweets at 3 a.m., at 6 a.m., at 4 a.m. Like he tweets through the night.
He's the new Trump. But
he's Trump. Yeah.
We were coming back from Tampa Bay yesterday, and when we were at Austin on our layover, there were two hot chicks at one booth at a restaurant, and then one perfectly healthy looking, good shape 35-year-old, 40-year-old guy wearing one of the hardcore masks the entire time, taking it off to take a bite, then putting it back on. That guy hates Elon Musk because Elon Musk tweeted prosecute Fauci, and probably for a lot of other reasons too.
Yeah, but what if that guy was just sick or something?
He wasn't. I could tell. And there were plenty of people wearing masks. He was just one guy.
What if he's doing it for you?
Stop it.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where the mask originated. In China, it was when you were sick, you would wear it to help others.
Someone in America would never want to wear it for that reason, though, because then they would be like, "Oh no, I don't want everyone to think that I'm sick." And then
that's true.
It's purely social reasons. It's like it's posting the black square. It's having your pronouns on your Instagram profile.
Oh, you think that's
what wearing
he's
a
like
mask
virtue
is.
signaling to his friends? Yeah,
absolutely. That's what I think it is. And Elon, dude, when he recently came out and released the Hunter Biden laptop story, here's what happened, dude. He took over Twitter. All of the lefties and the legacy media freaked the fuck out because they feared that they were going to lose control of this platform that basically just served their needs. And a lot of people were like, that's probably not why they're freaking out. They're just freaking out because maybe a billionaire, maybe he does have too much power to control this. But now it's coming out that that's exactly what fucking Twitter was doing. They were conspiring with the FBI and with powerful Democratic politicians like Michelle Obama to censor the narratives that made their way into the mainstream.
You're not going to read about this in any mainstream account either. It's only on Twitter with proof. He has proof up on Twitter, and that's where you can find that. But I don't think you'll find like ramblings. I've been trying to like see where like if any of the mainstream kind of media.
They just talk shit about it.
Yeah, they just talk shit and say like,
the journalists just
snooze. Like he didn't find anything in there. Like,
or you're doing. Or
what are you talking about?
The journalist who came out and did the story, he's cool. I watched an interview with him this weekend.
Matt Taibbi?
Yes, yeah. I saw him on Bill Maher a couple times. I didn't really know his deal, but
I don't know.
But everybody's like, you're doing PR for the richest man in the world. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you. And I listened to him on Ben Shapiro, and he said that this whole thing started in 2016, this completely irrational, if you're not with us, you're against us, no sense of humor. But yeah, he put out this Hunter Biden story, basically that the FBI talked to Twitter and said, hey, suppress this fucking story. We don't want it coming out before the election, basically because we want Joe Biden to win the election. Mm-hmm. Michelle Obama came to Twitter and said, hey, ban fucking Trump. And they just listened to these people. They're all friends.
What about the child porn that was up? The child porn that had 10 million. There was like multiple Twitter that were just dedicated to child
Tell me
pornography.
about this. I saw Elon tweet about it. I don't know the whole story.
Apparently, Twitter didn't think it was enough because there was no violations. It's wild, bro. But they basically let like a Twitter that was for child exploitation and pornography up for at least 2 years, and it had 10 million views.
What kind of content was on there?
I don't know, Danny.
Umbilical cord porn stuff?
It might have been umbilical cord porn stuff. Yeah. No, we always go back. I had this rant one time about Blake Lively talked about umbilical cord porn, that there's guys that fuck babies.
And he ironically was saying it's his favorite kind of porn.
I wasn't saying that.
And it wasn't really a rant then. A rant would have been like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. Can't get enough.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that maybe people should be a little bit more upset about things like that than about what pronouns are in our bios and our Instagram bios. You know what I mean? But it was a wild kind. There's
yeah, but
are
there really that many people upset about pronouns?
No,
I don't know where the news is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you hear like people
there
are.
are.
But at the
Seems
same
like
time,
it.
is that a false narrative
It might
being
be a
pushed by the
exactly.
right? And that's like the
a good point.
outrage that pisses everyone off
a good
because
point.
when you should be worrying about taxes or shit like that, people are worried about pronouns.
Right.
And it's like,
Here,
well,
it's
you know,
It
is that
could be the
a
narrative, dude.
legit
It could be the narrative
narrative?
because I don't talk to people that often.
Yeah.
Except for an occasional, I think there's some girls at like comedy clubs that have no idea that people like can say anything they want at a comedy club.
Yeah.
And they'll come up to comedians after and be like, I'm
Exactly.
just really offended.
It's
by
all in
this."
the
Exactly. And the
university.
thing is like at that Dave Chappelle, there's a ton of woke people love him. And even with all the,
Exactly.
they get it. They understand what he's saying. It's not like there's no woke people behind Dave Chappelle. He's like the funniest comedian in the world. So this is kind of like it's what makes the news.
There are problems with the pronoun things, though. Like you, for a while on Twitter, could get deplatformed, like the Babylon Bee got deplatformed, if you stated that a man who became a woman was still a man. Things like that. And the problem with that, and again, I
agree.
I am not a transphobe, and I have no like I will happily call whoever by their preferred pronouns. But I don't think it should be punishable legally or through deplatforming if you don't adhere to that, because then the problem is, and this is what I think they're trying to do, they're trying to destroy objective reality. You see this now in math. There are professors that are coming out and saying math is racist and we need to use critical race theory in maths. Some even came out and tweeted that 2 + 2 can equal 5. Things like this. This is happening.
Like my truth versus your truth.
Exactly.
And all that kind of
So
stuff.
they're trying to take away the idea of gender reality, man,
Right.
woman. They're trying to take away the idea of mathematics. They're trying to destroy the Western
Yeah.
canon. Shakespeare, Dante, Charles Dickens. They're trying to replace with whatever communist writers or people who they just select because of their minority status. And the problem with that is it's moving us closer and closer to an Orwellian future. There's the passage in Orwell. I'm going to butcher this, but it's basically like war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is power. And if you can get rid of 2 + 2 = 4 and get rid of a man as a man and a woman as a woman, you can eventually move on to bigger lies like war is peace, ignorance is power, fucking whatever the other one was.
That's
Yeah,
why
that
it
happens.
seems like most people are, for the most part, normal. And then all of a sudden there's this like super concentrated group of like woke chicks or whatever that are like super left. And it's because it's all in the schools. It's
Yep.
from like elementary through high school and college. Like when Dino was going to high school here in LA,
bet
he
he
had
did
to
great.
draw his like gender identity and what
Yeah.
he identified as.
What'd you
They-
draw, Dino?
Donald Trump.
The best. Continue though, Austin. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, they'll have to draw their gender identity. They have these weird, like, icebreaker things, but really they're sort of just like a political cult ritual where it's like, we're all going to stand around in a circle and present our pronouns to each
Yeah.
other. And it's these weird sort of hippy-dippy things that they're doing at school that these kids coming out of school and college right now, they just don't think the way, like you
Yeah,
guys
but what
do.
would you want the reverse to be? Like, oh, you're a man, say you're a man, and
Just
you
don't
know,
mention
you
it.
could be in an Islamic country where it's like you're female and you have no rights, forever. I mean, when you're getting people to think about things and think about them critically, I mean, I
It's
see
the opposite,
some
though. You're
value.
only
I
allowed
would
to think about it in one very specific way. Otherwise, you're socially like ostracized and everybody hates you, or they'll try to get you kicked out of the school. You're not allowed to have like an opposing view. It's you're gonna think this way, not
Yeah.
here's an idea. How do you think about it? It's here's the idea. You're gonna think about it this way. Otherwise, all your friends are going to hate you.
Yeah.
And that's why it's really bad with chicks because chicks will socially ostracize all of their friends. If you don't have one line in view, then they fall in lockstep. Because like, I mean, I'm only 22, so I talk to a lot of like other chicks that are in school. You saw Mia's homework. Like some of the stuff on there is probably ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it's authoritarianism can exist on the left and on the right.
Oh, authoritarian populism can, right? And I do see it in the social, wokeism. I see it on that side too, but it resides on both.
And I'm with you, dude. I'm not saying, I'm not one of those guys who is like the gays are tearing at the fabric of society, like gay sex is morally not okay. Not one of those guys. Not one of the great white nation, stop the immigrants. Totally not like that. But the way that it's being carried out now, it just seems to me like their priority is to destroy Western civilization out of revenge. That seems to be what's happening. Women want revenge on men. The minorities are being encouraged to take revenge on everybody else. Am I going too far here? It seems like there's this revenge
because we beat their ass.
It's a little bit. It's like the powers that be. You could say they understand that there are certain issues in certain countries that are more sort of able to get at under people's skin and shit. So like race in America is like a really big issue because a lot of people feel emotionally.
Yeah, but who's
charged
feeding
towards
this
that.
narrative? And
think
how much is Russia feeding this narrative? And
well,
do they
that's what I
have
mean.
bots
There it
online
is. A lot of it's
feeding
China,
this
too.
narrative?
They have
And
bots. We know
you
they
know
have
what I
bots,
mean?
yeah.
Like it's
We
like
got
Yeah,
what
China,
is
or
this
China,
narrative?
or China, right?
And
or,
this
or
is
the CCP, right?
Yeah, that's why critical thinking is so important.
But the thing is too,
being
there
able
was
to
a-
parse this information out.
There are also professors, like I believe her name is Brittany Cooper at Rutgers, who went on a Zoom call and said that white people are villains and we have an inherent need to destroy, and that whiteness needs to be ended in America.
Yeah.
There are absolutely
I think-
intellectuals that are saying things
There's
like
a
that,
lot
and they're
of
not
intellectuals that are against progress. Like I'm not arguing that. That's true.
But like you said, but if you have critical thinking on your side, you know that that's bullshit, right? You know immediately that doesn't make sense.
I don't think school should even be focused on progress at all. It should just be like
Critical
you need
thinking.
skills for a job. Here's how you do it. Like half of everybody's schedule, it's like, okay, you have like a math class, a science class, and it's like Mexican American history and like women's studies and
As
like
a Latinx
all of
man,
this
I like
filler
that one.
stuff just to make more money. And then the people that get degrees in this stuff, they only just become educators that teach the same
Well, I
stuff
guess
to
it
other people.
depends on what you mean by progress, right? And if we should be pushing progress and pushing ourselves into
Well, that's what
the
I mean.
future, right?
I
It's
think we
like, what
should
do you
generally, but I don't
mean?
think the schools, like the purpose of school is to get an education. When I went to school, my English class, my teacher got rid of our textbook and replaced it with only readings about like 17th century feminism. And then every essay was just like, men are bad.
Wait,
Here's
where
why
was this,
This
though?
is in Texas, like
Oh, and in what high school you said?
college.
Oh, it was in college.
This is
junior
college.
junior
yeah.
college.
Yeah.
And it was one class over how many months?
Well, I mean, it was a one semester class.
And then did you take another class? Like you said, this was English literature.
Yeah.
Did you take another English literature class after that?
I don't think so. I think I left college probably before I took a second English class.
So I mean, there's a lot of ideas and things that people
But
promote,
I
and you
spent
got
an
to
entire
take it with a
semester and
grain.
she never actually
Right.
taught
Yeah.
anything. There was no
It's
grammar
changed since you
lessons,
graduated.
But
Wait,
don't
no,
let that
writing
one
lessons.
person
Yes.
skew your whole version for the next 20 years of your
dude,
life.
you like it's changed since you were in college and since I was in college. My
It
girlfriend.
was all of my
Unfortunately,
classes. It was
it's
High school
gnarly,
was
dude.
really bad, dude. It was
It's
super left.
It's really changed, man. When I went to UCLA, it was apolitical for the most part. Nobody
Right,
talked
same.
about politics.
Same,
It was
never.
all objective.
It was-
Dude, what are you talking about? When I went to college, it was like the war was going on. I was talking to a guy today, and he mentioned something interesting because he was like, yeah, he was joking about us millennials being so traumatized and all that. But he said, you guys grew up with war in your face, even though you never saw it.
We never saw
it was
it.
all over the media. You were
was.
bombarded with it
Yeah,
in your
Iraq
formative years.
Yeah.
And I thought,
that's all about
I was
Afghanistan,
laughing, and I was
Iraq,
like,
yeah.
that's kind of an interesting, little play, but there is some truth to that.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
But still,
So I feel like, I mean, our colleges were totally politicized. There was like war, anti-war. It was like John Kerry, George Bush.
Yeah.
It was fucking crazy, dude. It was crazy back then. People were like picketing and
people were very anti-Bush.
I think we forget. We have a short memory.
Maybe.
I also think a lot of these problems with education stem all the way back to like the, I don't know, like Martin Luther King days and stuff like that. Like in the mid 60s and 70s, like a lot of these sort of, it's multi-generational, you know, like people become, the professors teach the students and then the students become the professors and then the professors teach the next generation and they purposely try to like, you know, keep the things that they go pushing. So colleges have been politicized for like 100 years or even since
the beginning of time, dude. They've always been.
But it should be about how to think
about, like,
and not what to
things
think,
back
right?
then.
It should be about how to think.
Yeah, hopefully we get there. Yeah.
What to think.
I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly. But yeah, Austin, I know what you're talking about. I forget who it was. Was it Jesse Jackson? It was one of these civil rights leaders. They went and protested at Stanford University, I think in the 80s, to overturn a Western civilization course. Or it was going to be a series of courses on Western civilization, and I believe that opened the door to we need to stop glorifying Western civilization.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, and like
Jesse
what he was
Jackson's
saying, there
done
were
some
people
effed up
picketing
stuff.
and stuff. Like the professors there that are like these 78-year-old ladies or whatever. They're the same 22-year, like back when they were 22, they were probably marching and stuff for the same sort of stuff, fighting similar battles.
And it was good. Like I talked about this in the Berkeley video. It was good back then. Like, and I'm not saying that racism is done and systemic racism isn't a thing. Like I totally agree that's a thing, but it's changed a lot. It used to be the free speech movement at Berkeley was for free speech and civil rights, and the end to a Vietnam War that was super gnarly. But now it's canceling comedians. It's scrolling through your Twitter feed.
Yeah, it's like anti what the message
Free
should
speech.
be. Yeah,
Right.
it's like
Absolutely. And it's gone so far to the other side that we have people who claim to be on the left, the tolerant left, saying that white people are evil and we need to do away with them, and that men are pieces of shit, and that we need to light Shakespeare on fire because this new pansexual poet who identifies as a werewolf wrote a little ditty on anal sex, and that needs to be the new coursework.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff's happening now.
So what I meant by how to think instead of what to think is the simple like an essay, for example.
Hey, essay, what's up,
Hey,
fool?
Doug.
Hey.
But the concept of it is simple, right? You're saying something, and then you are backing it up with points, and hopefully you have a bibliography, where you cite your sources,
Sure,
and you make an argument, right? That's
fair,
right? But how can they? How's it gone so far from that? You know?
Yeah, no, I get you.
You used to be able to say whatever you wanted as long as you made a good point. You were able to back up you had facts.
Who did win though, and why? I mean, wasn't like our comedians were arrested? And, it was
basically you'll just like
crazy
fail
just
your class.
years ago.
Like you'll just fail.
Yeah, no, what you're talking about too, right? What you're talking about too, like Lenny Bruce getting arrested for saying the F word on stage. Obviously, that sucks too. We can agree that shit sucked back then. We can agree that the jingoists after 2001, 9/11, that wanted to kill all towel heads, we can agree they were pieces of shit. Like the hardcore right sucked. But we can also say that and also say the left has gone too far in some cases today.
Yes.
In almost all cases.
I don't think it's necessarily all just bad politics. It's this sort of this normalization that those who disagree with you, not only are they wrong, but they're morally evil.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't even think of them as like normal people. They shouldn't be allowed to speak. And then that's why I say the left, they always think that they're like, oh, we're the good guys. We're the anti-racist or whatever. It's like, no, you're just hateful towards people who are socially acceptable to be hateful towards.
Well, you have to be like really careful, right? Because they'll fall into that trap. Like if they start saying all white people deserve to die, like they're just using the same playbook that was used against them 100 years ago, or if it was a minority is saying it. And you have to be really careful. I think it was like Kanye said when he was talking about the Jews, he said, hurt people. But okay, cool. Like some people are like, that's so profound, but it's like, yeah, but you know, that's like, we're supposed to be better angels of our nature and not think that way. So you got to forgive, right?
Can you pull up this Brittany Cooper Rutgers University clip, Austin, real quick? We should end on this, dude. It's unbelievable. I love when Austin types. It's like all capital letters. Brittany Cooper, Rutgers, and go videos. The last time I looked for it, it was a lot of commentary on it, but dude, it's unbelievable.
Okay, so she's like full on feminist. And
yes, she's a professor, like at a major university, and she said this. Nice, curves with a K.
That's all right.
Oh, Ruggers? Is it right here?
No, go to YouTube, dude.
Okay.
Let me. Dude, this is really crazy. And then see, let's keep scrolling down. Let's see what's 5. Let's go to that one right there, the 5-minute long one. I want one that without any sort of editorialization. Here, let's try this one. Looks good.
Look at the name of
that white people are committed to being villains
of the
in
channel.
The aggregate,
oh God,
right? The real sort of
either.
issue here, and I've heard people sort of say it is one. I think that white people viscerally feel.
Oh, do we have any
it's
headphones?
Not that
for
white
us?
people don't.
Yeah, give them.
Yeah, let's let our.
Dino, you don't need to hear this.
Yeah, you definitely don't. This will make you too angry. Let's rewind it a little bit, Austin. Yeah, this. Thank you for pointing out. This is a very questionable channel name, but this is an undoctored clip. So let's see.
I think that white people are committed to being villains in the aggregate, right? The real sort of issue here, and I've heard people sort of say it is one. I think that white people viscerally fear. It's not that white people don't know, right, what they have done. They know. They fear that there is no other way to be human but the way in which they are human, which is to, so, like you talk to white people and whenever you really want to have a reckoning about it, they say stuff like, it's just human nature. If y'all had all of this power, you would have done the same thing, right? And it's like, no, that's what white humans did. White human beings thought there's a world here and we own it. Prior to them, Black and brown people have been sailing across oceans, interacting with each other for centuries without total subjugation, domination, and colonialism. Right? We have seen what a show this iteration of treatment of other human beings means, and that my hope is that we would do it differently, in the moments when we have some power. We will not do it perfectly, but I do think that all of us can sort of agree that a politics that says like there are superior and inferior human beings just isn't the way to go. And that's the thing that white people don't trust us to do because they are so corrupt. Their thinking is so morally and spiritually bankrupt about power that they can't they fear viscerally, existentially letting go of power because they cannot imagine that there's another way to be. It is either that you dominate or you are dominated. And isn't it sad that is spiritually who they are and that they can't imagine a sort of more expansive notion of the world? The thing I want to say to you is we got to take these motherfuckers out. But we can't say that, right? We can't say, I don't believe in a project of violence. I truly don't. Because I think in the end that our souls suffer from that. And I do think that some of this is a spiritual condition. So here is where I land most days about white people. And I actually have been helping this by thinking about indigenous people, right? See, part of the challenge around whiteness is that it totally skews our view of everything, right? I gave this TED talk about this some years back, and one of the reasons I was trying to think about it is the world didn't start when white people arrived in America and tried to tell all the rest of us how things were going to go. There were people out here making worlds, Africans and indigenous people being brilliant and, libraries and inventions and, vibrant notions of humanity and cross-cultural exchange long before white people showed up being raggedy and violent and terrible and trying to take everything from everybody. And that's really important because if we believe that history starts for us when white people drag us to these shores, then we can never get outside of the notion that this is going to be our existential struggle. All things that begin end. White folks are not infinite and eternal, right? They ain't gonna go on for infinity and infinity. Yet. And that's super important to remember that white colonialism and imperialism has a beginning. And in my way of thinking about the world, that means it has an end. And so part of what we are trying to do is to imagine what are the steps that we must take to get to the other side of this very inconvenient epochal interruption of Black and indigenous world making. I mean, does that give people comfort on the day to day when you just having to deal with white folks and the travesties that they create and the sense that they want to destroy the planet? Nah, there is a world beyond even our sojourn on the earth. And so whiteness is going to have an end date because it is not, despite what white people think of themselves, they do not defy the laws of eternity, right? Their projects are not so sophisticated that the natural laws of physics change for them. And when we sort of humble them humble our own understandings of whiteness, it seems like the biggest giant that we face. But in the end, right, it is what I like to say is, Black folks were out here for centuries and centuries and millennia doing all kinds of wonderful things and probably some fucked up things too. But whiteness is largely an inconvenient interruption. And so we then get to ask ourselves, so why am I here in this moment of it? Like, damn, why did I show up in this particular iteration? And it's like, well, I think we showed up in this iteration precisely so that we could, help to figure out an end and a way to the other side of this, gargantuan historical tragedy that is white.
It's such a America is just such a tragedy, dude. It's such a bad place.
Like
to live.
Reza said, though, if you looked at her Rate My Professor, you know what I mean? I'd still take her class if she was an easy grade. If she was going to give me an A, you would too. We both would.
You would have to go in there acting so Hispanic.
Oh, I would.
Show me how you'd go into Bernie Cooper's class.
I'd be like, hello, how are you? I'm from Argentina, and I want to say I love your class, and I see your YouTube stuff, and you're great. But seriously, I could change her mind about white people.
Hey, Fabio, so good to see you. Professor Cooper, you look beautiful.
You're so
Queen.
great.
Yes. It's the only way we would not get failed or maybe killed in that class.
The truth is, but also, like, can't you defeat her argument with facts, right? Isn't that critical thinking?
But she'll defeat you by getting you expelled.
Dude,
I thought she was going to sit on you.
That was insane, dude. A couple of things she said in there that we need to put an end to these motherfuckers and get these motherfuckers.
She sounds ignorant, though. She's not making any good points.
It's pretty fucking gnarly, dude.
She's just humbling her perspective on white people.
We don't need to analyze it bit by bit, but basically, that was clearly pretty racist. Did you get racist vibes from that?
I get these vibes where they just use this,
you did listen to it. I forgot
this term of like white people, but you have to ask yourself, what is a white person?
Yeah, what is
it's like what it, like I don't know. When people talk like that, I'm wondering if they have understanding of like evolution and that we're all we're all the same.
We are all the same.
And that I don't know why they're caught up in this talk, this white, black, us versus them.
And also she made it seem like every white person both enslaved black people and runs a Fortune 500 corporation.
Exactly.
Because she kept mentioning the environment and the power.
What do you mean by that? Like,
so
I don't know.
And you know what nobody wants to be? White trash. But nobody wants to be white trash.
Austin and Dino can't help it.
Yeah, that's true. I live in a trailer.
Dino, you could say I think you could change your mind with a vibrator and a condom, buddy.
Reza, do you have anything you want to plug? Your documentary?
Check out OperationWhiteStork.org if anyone
Bernie
feels
Cooper's
like
gonna have an issue with that.
Helping out some of those Ukrainians. And then
whitestork.org.
Yes, Operation Whitestork.
OperationWhiteStork.org
website. Yeah, and then I went out with Robert Young Pelton. Check out his knife company, which is DPX gear.
Dope.
Pretty cool blades.
Throw it at Dino's face.
Yeah, so check that out. I'll plug those two things, and then
Dude, it was awesome having you, bro. It was awesome having you. Well, we got to have you on again to tell all the other stories. You got a million stories.
Yeah, totally. Love to come back. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother.
Leo Danny Show.